talking to an anthropologist who had come in as a special lecturer at the University of Oklahoma, and I asked her, I said, does fair trade really make a difference? And she had traveled to places, and she says it's significant in terms of what difference it makes, because it respects a culture and yet lets a culture maintain itself while going for trade with not aid, and really does not end up being patronizing, but provides a sustainable way for people to live. When I came to University of Kansas in '91, I discovered that the Mennonite Church was doing that and here in the building, and so ECM joined with them, and we expanded and began having a lot more vendors, and that's when it was the embryonic beginning of the Lawrence Fair Trade team. Again, the group began in '91. It was very small and it wasn't as organized as it is now, but we found out that once we did the sales, we had to move beyond that, and we thought, how do we best advocate and educate in terms of fair trade? So I think there's already been some advances on that. One of the course the difficulties is sustaining a group, because a lot of students come and then they go and they come and they go. But we were able to do that in large sense because we had people like Alicia and Brady who have been very instrumental, who had opened up their own fair trade shop here in town. Both of them had been involved in the Peace Corps before. And we began attracting also some students who heard about it. And it's never been a huge group. Maybe it's been, it's most maybe 12 or so. But when you look at all the volunteers involved, we may go up to 100 or more. And that begins to be important, because you educate and people raise questions. And if you can get questions to be raised, you know you're doing something right. Then we thought, well, let's do a film. And I think probably The Price of Sugar was the first film that we really did, and we were surprised to have that large a response when we had it down at Liberty Hall. And then, of course, we had another one here recently on The Dark Side of Chocolate, and that also brought out people. So I think we found more ways to, again, advocate the discussion of fair trade and people becoming more familiar with it. The holiday market that we do is really a way to make, you might say, a conscientious consumer. We don't want to get into consuming for consuming's sake, but we know that in the holidays people want to have gifts, and I think there's increasing awareness that if they have an option to where the money goes, that will sustain communities, often women's co-ops, but always it goes back to the vendors, the artisans, the people who make the coffee, the food, or whatever, the clothes, and that goes back and it promotes health, it promotes education, it promotes environmental sensitivity, ecological sense, and so it really addresses the issue of justice, a restorative sense of justice that many people respond to, and that's why they come and they purchase here. Really attract a group of students that are venturing into an area of understanding that may be tentative at first, but they feel like they want to make a difference. And fair trade makes a difference. It's tangible and it's global, but it's also very much affects us here because of what it does in terms of education. And I just think that's really exciting.